Welcome to the Maura Sweeney Podcast. Maura is an international speaker, Huffington Post contributor, and the trademarked ambassador of happiness. In 10 minutes or less, Maura weaves clever anecdotes, insightful questions, and personal stories to challenge your mindsets and enable you to live happier from the inside out. Here's Maura with today's podcast for you.
Did you know that harmony is a secret to your happiness? If not, then you're definitely going to want to pay attention to today's podcast, where we take up that very subject. Harmony is a secret to your finding happiness. Before we get started, I want to go into the word harmony so that you have a clear, not only mental understanding, but even a feeling for what harmony means and implies. Harmony, most often, is used as a musical term. If you've ever played an instrument or have been part of a choir, you might realize that harmony is the combination of simultaneously sounded musical notes that are played together and have a pleasing effect. You know what it's like if you've ever been part of a group and somebody is singing off key, and when their notes are not lining up properly with others, instead of it having a pleasing effect, you almost want to cringe. That's disharmony. But harmony is when all the sounds work together, and not only does it sound good to your ears, but even internally, it just feels right. Let me give you some broader terms and broader meanings for the word harmony. Harmony has everything to do with agreement or concord. And some of the synonyms that I really want you to tune into today and almost feel are these: accord, amity, peace, friendship, fellowship, cooperation, understanding, unity, sympathy, and support. Think about how all of those words sound. Everything there has a sense of unity and working together. There is no contradiction. There is no dissonance. And better said, there is no one element taking over and, let's say, putting a rough mark on the overall work of what's being said or done, spoken or expressed. Let me make this a little bit clearer. There's a really neat expression that I have heard from Buddha, and it's really probably distilled from a lot of his thoughts. Buddha says happiness comes when our words and our work are of benefit to ourselves and others. Think about that everything we say and everything we do benefit of ourselves, but they also benefit other people around us. If you want to think about harmony in terms of friendship, support, peace, unity, and accord, what you're seeing then in the way of harmony is something that's very nicely and equally balanced. So how does this relate to you and your life? Well, for one thing, are you living your words and your works in harmony, or are they dissonant? Are they contradicting each other? One of the best examples I want to come up with this. Are you one of those people that's a great stage personality? You could get out in front of the public and you could talk a great game and everyone sees a certain side of you. But once you step backstage behind the curtains, your behaviors deny the very things that publicly you claim to profess. In fact, your behaviors behind the scene or behind the curtains are actually either one, exploiting and taking advantage of other people, or number two, you are being exploited or taken advantage of by other people. In those cases, there is a dissonance rather than a harmony. And when that happens, we lose our sense of happiness, our sense of equilibrium, and our sense of internal peace. And I'll tell you why. At some level, we're either fooling ourselves or attempting to fool ourselves, or we are trying constantly to make sense of two things that don't make sense. We are exposing ourselves as being something of a hypocrite, and yet we're trying to hide that from ourselves as well. Just as a case in point, have you ever either questioned someone when they were behaving in, let's say, a hypocritical way from what they professed? Or let's say it another way, maybe someone once called you out to say, well, wait a minute, I thought you said it's wrong to do X, Y, Z, and you're doing it right now. Generally, those kinds of aha moments will cause triggering effects. That means the person that's called out, whether it's you or somebody else, will get anger, they'll have pushback, they'll make some counter accusations, and maybe at other times they might even want to get a little bit or very abusive. People all the time, in every state of affairs, every age, every background, suffer from these kinds of things. And all of these dissonant behaviors are part of that disharmony that keeps them from being truly happy. Somewhere there's a disconnect. So what does that mean for you? Does it mean that maybe you're going to ask yourself today, am I a stage personality and behind the scenes I have a backdoor personality or a backstage personality that is doing things that are in total contradiction? You know, I've had several, that would be an understatement, several of aha moments in my own life where either I heard myself say something that I didn't like, or I realized I was engaging in activities that I did not particularly find pleasing, or maybe other activities where I was being taken advantage of by someone else. And I had to make a decision. Is this behavior I'm exhibiting in harmony with who I wish to be? And if it wasn't, I needed to take a new step in a new direction. Sometimes it meant that I needed to step out of certain equations, step out of certain relationships, step out of certain communities of people. Other times it meant that I would have to maybe step up to the plate and make a decision and have my voice heard if I saw that something was being done improperly. We all know these aha moments when there's a lack of harmony in our lives. And those are the moments that we can use to make a decision. Sometimes the decisions may be enormous, and other times they may be very small. But do you know that every time we have an opportunity to marry up or to harmonize our words that we profess and the works that we engage in and bring them one step closer together, we not only help ourselves to be happier on the inside, but we also have an effect on everyone around us in the realm of truth, in the realm of harmony, in the realm of peace, and in the realm of being that person who lives and who operates in a very harmonized fashion. You can actually not just change your world for the better and make yourself happier, but when you harmonize your words and your work, you will be helping others to do the same thing. Well, that's been my thought today, but before we go, let's tune in because there's someone else who wants to share with us what makes them happy from the inside out too.
Hi, this is Janelle Alex, traveling entrepreneur and writing coach for women. I grew up in Indiana, but spent a few years in Colorado, and right now, traveling with my husband and youngest son, I'm currently down in Panama City Beach, Florida. Exploring new places, experiencing different cultures, even the subcultures within the United States, and teaching our son to appreciate the differences makes me happy. Helping others and get their message out and their voices heard truly lights me up. Finally, being out on the water, sunshine on my face, wind in my hair, waves crashing, there's nothing like it. So my favorite things in life are my husband and my sons, all three of them, helping others, and the ocean. And that's what makes me happy.
For more insights on living happy from the inside out, subscribe to this podcast. To learn more about Maura, visit her moraforyou.com website, where you'll find videos, blogs, books, and the Foundations of Happiness self-study e-course. Maura, 4, letter U.com, where Maura is always for you.